Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining the Kitsap Great Give 2026 first webinar, getting started. Uh, my name is MK Holiday. I'm the Director of Giving Event Success with Mightycause. Mightycause is the technology partner and provider. If you are unfamiliar with their name, we host and partner with a lot of community foundations and other nonprofit associations and United Ways across the United States, hosting giving events that are use the site either for a one-day sort of emphasis or year-round. And we are here to partner with you and to build up your community. I am joined by Joanne Delaney, Lillian Z. Is it she?
Oh, it's like shit, so ship without the P.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that. And Gretchen Ritter Lipatowski. I should have asked for pronunciations before I went ahead and engaged in the last names, but um, the Kitsap Community Foundation team is here. And I don't know, did any of you want to say anything? If not, we can go ahead and move on. Okay, so today on our call, our agenda is to go over Kitsap Great Give basics, talk about how to register, so logging in and then registering, reviewing and then do a platform refresher, what you can find, where you find it. I think after that, so all of those are going to be slides, and I think after that we could jump into a demo where I can show you in real time, click around the things that I talk with you about on the slides, and then we will have time for Q&A. Feel free to put questions in the chat. I can try to handle them as we go on. If someone on the Kitsap team wants to let me know if questions come up that we think we should pause to answer. Otherwise, we can handle questions at the end of the call. Sorry about that. So, Kitsap Great Give. It is presented by the Kitsap Community Foundation. It's a 24-hour giving day that unites the community and supports the organizations that make Kitsap a great place to live. It has resulted in more than $18.5 million in community support since 2014. It opens with early giving, so that's advanced giving prior to the big day. And the early giving opens on Sunday, March 1st, and the giving event itself is Tuesday, March 10th. There are a few requirements for what is required for you to be able to participate. You must be a registered 501(c)(3). You must complete your charitable organization registration renewal through the Secretary of State. There is a link on the slide deck to where you can check that. You have to be current on your 990 tax filings. You need to ensure that your Secretary of State nonprofit annual report is filed. You must serve residents of Kitsap and North Mason or be based in our immediately surrounding areas. You have to register on the platform. Uh, you can have all of those things, but if you're not registered, you won't be searchable on the platform. And then the deadline to register is January 20th, end of day, so 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So, how to register. If you are a returning platform user, then you will go to kitsapgreatgive.org. You'll go to the login in the upper right-hand corner of the website, and you can log in using your 2025 credentials. Or if you have forgotten your password, you can use the password reset button on that login page to reset your password and then log in. If you are new to Kitsap Great Give, then you can visit kitsapgreatgive.org and click login, and then it will cue you to create a new account. Once you're logged in, then you're going to want, then we do the registration. So you will go to register now in the header menu, and that will take you to the registration page. Before you can start registering or just kind of kick off the registration, you have to identify who you're registering for. So in this screenshot, I'm a returning user. I'm an organization user for the Kitsap Community Foundation. And so you'll see that radio button that has my organization name. If you are a user that works with multiple organizations, you'll see multiple radio buttons for you to select which of the organizations you're looking to register. If you have multiple organizations you're connected to, you'll need to register each of them individually. If you are a if you are a new user, you'll search for your organization by the EIN. You can also use the organization name as it says in that bar. But the most straightforward way is to search by your EIN. And then once you register, an admin claim will be submitted to our support team at Mightycause for that organization, and we will confirm that you are a registered user or an employee or a board member with that organization before we give you access to the platform backend. So once you complete the series of questions on the registration form, which we can look at when we do the actual demo, you'll be logged into the site and you'll see your to-do list. The to-do list is the other kind of part of completing your profile, building it out so that donors see the information that gives kind of a robust look at who you are and who your programs serve and what your aim is and what you're looking to do in the coming year. So a couple of things are required on the to-do list. One is your logo. Another is the about section. It has to be 50 words or more. So not characters, but 50 words. Also, your EFT setup is required. So those three items are required elements of the to-do list. And I will show you that to-do list and how you navigate it in a little bit. The two recommended items on your to-do list are your banner image and a thank you page. And so the banner image, probably obvious, is that hero image that goes across the top of your profile page. And then the thank you page is a thank you page that displays to the donor if they donate to your organization. If a donor donates to, say, two organizations in their cart, they're going to see a thank you message from the Community Foundation, and then they'll see a thank you page if you've opted to create one for each of the organizations that was in the cart. And so that allows you to show maybe an image, maybe a link to a video, or have them visit your website to look at an annual report, or perhaps you want them to click a button to sign up for a newsletter. You can do all of that on your thank you page. And those are the basic elements of the to-do list that are required and or recommended for your participation. Okay, so a couple of items about the platform. I wanted to go through what you'll find, where you'll find it, and how to build out your profile. So when you log in, you're going to navigate the dashboard. In the lower right-hand side of the screen, it shows you, it shows you what you'll see on the left-hand side of the page, which is your dashboard. If you look next to the word dashboard, it says to do, and you'll find that to-do list on every page that you navigate to a form. If it has a red dot as it does in the image, that means that you have some required elements that have not been completed yet. So the required elements again are that logo, the about, the EFT setup, and sorry, the leader demographic data is not required. That is, I believe, an outdated one. So I apologize. I will update that. Um, and then it shows you recommended items. So you will see on your overview page when you land, you have your dashboard and your to-do list. You will see your registration status on the overview page, any announcements from the Community Foundation, and your to-do list. It also will show you some metrics They kind of default to the last 30 days so you can see how much money was raised on the platform, how many unique donors, and see some other fundraising stats on your overview page. On your organization page, that's your public profile page. That's where you'll customize your profile and you can set a goal and you can add a carousel of multimedia. You can feature some fundraisers if you want to do that. Then there is a fundraising tools area that includes things like an embeddable donate button. Um, then there's the reports will be on your dashboard on that left-hand side when you log in. And reports is where you're going to access your donation data. So I'll show you that. There is a checkout in the navigation, and that is where you will go to if you have a custom donation question that you want to ask, or a custom question to ask in the donation form, or if you want to, that's where you'll do that thank you page as well. And then there is the settings, and that's where you will allow other people in your organization to access your administrative profile. That's where you can do things like the URL. So maybe Kitsap Community Foundation, perhaps that's the URL, they go to, that's what shows up in the URL when they share their page. But maybe that organization rebranded to KCF. So then you can change your URL and see if that's available. But those types of things are in the settings. So I will show you that as well. So that is the major elements of the dashboard. They're always going to show up on the left-hand side when you log in. You can kind of display them or you can hide them so that you have a different view of your page. But all of that data is always available to you no matter what part of the cycle we're in. Um, Customizing your profile. So your profile again is the page with the primary link that you'll share to your supporters and your fundraisers. You can customize the look and feel, and we believe we've given enough elements to tell a really powerful story about why donors want to give to your organization. So as you'll see on the right-hand side, there is a profile where you can change the name of your organization. You can upload images. You can edit your about section. You can do different HTML settings in there. You can show campaigns that are supporting your organization, show a gallery of multimedia images, and then have basic kind of like organization data about your address maybe, or your social media links, or some other basic information on your organization. A key element, I think, especially that you'll want to make sure that you have used on your profile page is the page metrics and the giving activity. So the page metrics, those will show up and they'll automatically be queued to start at 12 a.m. on March 1st when early giving opens. I think that what you'll want to do though is add a goal bar, which add a goal, which turns into a progress bar. So maybe you set a goal to raise $5,000. You can set that up on your metrics on your page, and then it will show kind of a thermometer bar that goes across and shows how close you are to achieving that goal. And you can change the goal throughout the day if you need to increase it, or if you have something that comes through that you want to recognize. You can always show in your stats, you can change up whether you want to show your amount raised, number of donors, or maybe you only want to show number of donors. That's your focus this year. You can change your metrics to include offline donations or not. Most people choose to include them because it is the true impact of the giving day on your event. And then again, you could change when the calculations start, but your calculations will be defaulted to start on March 1st at 12 a.m. to make sure they include all of the donations that are. I will show you this when we go through the profile itself in a demo, but there is a giving activity feed, which is not on by default for new organizations, and maybe some people didn't avail themselves of it last year, but it's like a donor wall that will show if the donor has said that it's okay to, publish their first name and their giving amount. They can choose not to do that. But if they do that, it'll show up and you have a view of most recent donations that have come through to show the activity that's happening on your page. So a important part of your kind of when you're going through your campaign and planning out your communications is access to your donation information. So again, on the dashboard on the left-hand side, there is a reports area, and one of those shows all donations. And the donations are going to default to show 30 days, but you can use the filters to display the last year or to do a custom date range. There is a filter that says campaign type, and one of those options is giving event. So you can search for donations that were made specifically for KGG25. Maybe you want to look for all the 2025 donors and send a special email out to them. So you can, filter your donation report to show donors from the last event and then export that donation list, download it, and email your donors. Or maybe you are looking to, dice your donation data a little bit differently. You can choose to download all of it and then use your own filtering to decide who you'd like to contact and how you'd like to communicate with them to make them donors again. The donation list does update in real time, so you can visit it throughout the giving event cycle and see the donations that have come through. It'll show online and offline donations. Um, and I think that's about it. It's a really great tool for outreach and to see who you've thanked. This platform automatically sends out the tax receipt, so you do not need to do that. But you may like to send out, some people call, some people email, or send a postcard, people that have made donations, and you can do that through the donation report. Element that we want to make sure you're aware of is the Give Again tile. So on the search page, there is a tile that shows up and it says Give Again. And what that does is it allows a donor to click the tile and they type in their email address and it's going to say, do you want to, it's going to like say, we know all of the donations you gave in the last like giving day because they can choose which organizations they want to give to again. So it might say Kitsap Great Give 2025 and they'll select that. And then they can choose to increase all of the donations that were in their cart for that event by 5%, 12%, 20%, or some other number. And the system will automatically increase donations for them. So it's a good way to both give again and to increase your incrementally even your donations year over year. And then it will, if they, elect to increase or they don't want to, that's fine, but it'll pre-fill their cart then with all of the organizations they had given to previously. It'll include whether they were anonymous or not. It includes those settings. And it's a really easy way for you to encourage your donors to give again, where they don't need to remember who they gave to or the amount. The system knows and it's going to do the work for them. And then we also do send out an email to donors with a Give Again link so that they can click that link in their email and be taken directly to the Give Again page with their information ready to go. Offline donations. So offline donations are a great element of showing the impact of the event on the community and for you to be able to recognize donations that have come through. Offline donations need to be postmarked by March 10th and processed by Kitsap Community Foundation to be counted towards the 5% bonus boost. They do not count towards timed prizes as a reminder. Offline gifts we collect, name, amount, source, email so that you can have record of who gave the gift and you can put in an external tracking ID if you need to say, they were in this system or that system of ours or have this tracking ID. That's not necessary, it's just there. And then you have the ability to, of course, hide people from display if it's not a donation that should be published or put on your giving wall. The checkout flow that we mentioned, this is where you can, on your donation form, use some custom donation questions. You can customize suggested donation levels. So in this image, it shows that the donor is going to see a suggested donation levels of 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000. You can change those to be a smaller or larger, or to be something that's specifically impactful to your organization and put those in there. You can preview the donor checkout flow, and it helps you decide what donor data you want to collect. We had mentioned the thank you page and the customized receipt. So the thank you page allows you, as I had mentioned, you're in the checkout on the dashboard, you go down to thank you page, you can customize it with photos, videos, a call to action with a link. You can put in a custom message, and then you can preview the thank you experience for your donors so that you're familiar with what they're going to see. Important, a really important resource that the team has put together for everyone is the Nonprofit Resources Hub. So that's on kitsapgreatgive.org /P/NPO toolkit. It has dates, it has deadlines, it has the logos. It's really important that you use the Kitsap Great Give logo provided on that website or on that URL. We don't want to be, you know, doing our own logos. We want to use what has been branded and provided for you. We have Canva templates, we have a workbook, we have ability to see the next trainings and sign up for them. The next new training is best practices to maximize your campaign. It's January 13th at 1 p.m. in, I don't know how to say Poolsbo. Is it Poolsbo? Probably not. Oh, it is. And then we have the QR code that if you want to go ahead and scan that, you can register for that training now. Let me give you a minute to do that, and then I can go ahead and show you uh, some of those elements in an actual demo. Okay, so as we had mentioned, when you log in, you're going to see your dashboard. You'll see your to-do list. This to-do list, sorry, leader demographic data is required. I don't know why I missed that. I apologize for any confusion. Um, So it shows you the elements that you need to do be required for your to-do list and then recommended items. If you want to see what are in some of those elements, you click open detailed to-do list and it will show you everything that has a checkbox means it has been completed. If it doesn't have a checkbox, it has not been completed. So you're looking to have all checks down your list. Um, a great thing about the to-do list is that you don't have to wonder like where do I go to do this? All of the elements in the to-do list link take you to where you need to go. So I click on logo, it takes me to my logo. Anything else that you want to look at, it will take you there. So that's your to-do list. As I had mentioned on your overview, you have some of the metrics on online donations, unique donors, retention, profile visits. It'll show you year over year over time. On your organization page, this is where you will go to preview kind of what your profile page looks like. So I can collapse the dashboard. I can see what it looks like out of edit mode. So this is what it looks like published. Edit mode shows you these little gray icons. Anything with a gray icon is something that you can edit and customize, brand it for your organization, and tell your story in a really impactful way that is meaningful for you and your program recipients and your donors. There's a quick edit area where kind of some of the key things that we think you might be interested in checking out are available. Again, you click on any of the items in the quick edit and it will take you to that area. As I had mentioned, there is the goal area. So to add a goal, you would click on the goal icon. You can also get rid of it. Um, you can, as we showed you, decide what you want to show in your metrics. You can have two tabs, an about section, and then you can have another. about section that you could have be something about programs, or you could have about something important to your organization and build that out with more information, more storytelling for your organization. We have a full, it's called a What You See is What You Get editor. So you can do all sorts of formatting and including images and links and buttons. Giving activity. This is the giving wall that you can add. So you would just click giving activity and it will show you the section. You can hide it if you'd like. We have an area for your mission statement and need statements. And then media gallery, you can add videos and images. And then you'll see if you've made it down this far, this is where there's specific information, some of it that you filled out in your registration, but you have your name and your address, your phone, your social media links, all information that a donor who's dug in this far, things that they're going to be interested in. As I had mentioned, there is on reports. You can go to reports and go to donations. This is where you'll find all of your donations. So you have your last 30 days or your last 12 months. And this is where you can filter, is it a recurring donation, an offline donation? Is it a giving event? Was it to a fundraiser? So you can filter all of that information and download it and use it for your donor outreach. Other important things that we mentioned, filling out your profile or building it out, customizing it. We have your thank you page again. This is where you will put in this organization just has one sentence with a view our page call to action, and where you can do some of your storytelling with your descriptions of your suggested donation levels. It doesn't mean that it's not like saying that $15, you know, is going towards, like, it's not earmarking $15 donations to go towards feeding a cat for 1 week, but you're basically, it's a way for you to tell impact stories on what kind of donation levels can do different things for your organization. And I think it compels people to maybe give a little bit more than they were thinking of. And then we had mentioned settings. So down here in the lower left-hand side, here is where you will find your EFT setup under disbursement settings, under organization info. This is where you'll find your address, your legal name, and elements that we get from the IRS. And then you will have in general settings, this is probably where you'll want to go. You might want to customize your shareable URL. And so you can do that here. Also, something to think about is, say, the Animal Humane Society in their community commonly goes by AHS. We have this alternate search names where you can put in some other names. You can do multiple words in each of those areas. You don't want to overfill it, but if you have some key search terms or some common names that you're known by in the community, you can put those in there to help us bring your search results to show your organization for someone that maybe doesn't have your name exactly right or perhaps doesn't have your URL for themselves. So those are the main elements of the registration, and the profile building out, and then elements to start thinking about when you're seeing how you're going to tell your story and what outreach you're going to do and what elements of the profile you can use for your outreach. If you have any questions on those, please put them in the chat or let me know, and I'm going to go ahead and I think we are at the Q&A section, so we can go ahead and move to that. Let's see. Will there be a Zoom option for the next training? Uh, I don't know. I think it's for the January 13th training. Is that an in-person training, I believe, Lillian?
It'll be in person. Unfortunately, we won't be recording that one since it'll be more of a I guess a more casual workshop and discussion.
Okay. That question was from Diana. Does anyone else have any questions on Wade? Yes. Actually, let me turn on. Hello, Wade. Oh, let me see. I think I allowed you to talk if you'd like to. I don't know if you meant to.
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Hi.
Okay, thanks. um, so I have a musical organization, but we're covered under a kind of an umbrella nonprofit called the Collaborative Music Musicians Project. And so, would we still qualify if we're going through them to be able to do this great give?
Lillian, do you have any guidance on your kind of like MOU or fiscal sponsor definitions?
Yeah, that pretty much falls under the like our ideal, the process to register a fiscal sponsorship, which means I believe that's sending support at mightycause.com, like an MOU from your um
Mhm.
overhead organization with their EIN and saying that they authorize you to be a part of this.
Okay, okay, great. All right, so just to double check. So they're based in Bellevue, but we're based here in Kitsap County. Is that, I know it makes things a little, or it's a little bit complicated, but
Yeah,
that,
no, that's a good point. We have a lot of organizations that are headquartered even in different states, but they're providing services and caring for our county, and
okay.
so those are acceptable as well.
Okay, great. I think that answers my question. Thank you.
Okay. And I know I didn't specifically call that out, but thank you, Lillian, for mentioning it. Support at Mighty Cause is uh, email available, 24 hours a day, and our support team is online 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, answering questions. There is also a phone number that I can make sure we provide that where they're often returning voicemails if there's something that is better handled in person. We have a whole library of articles. Even when you're in the back end and kind of going through your profile, the our supporting our ticketing kind of like support icon knows what you're looking at. And so if you're on like say we were talking about matching gifts or something and like you're like, oh, I want to enter a matching gift, which we will talk about on another call. But the support icon, when you click it, it's going to automatically show you support articles about our matching gifts functionality. So it kind of tracks where you're at and can help give you some information to see like, did this help me? Am I self-served or do I need to create a ticket and ask a question? Our support team is more than happy to answer questions if it is in fact about like an MOU for fiscally sponsored, or if it is about like, hey, I'm having trouble uploading this image, or I have a question about, the best way to kind of, do you have any suggestions on, you know, if I have a question about the data I'm looking at in my donor reporter, am I interpreting it correctly? You can always ask questions, and our support team is available and absolutely willing to help you out. All of that to say, they're really great. But I'll make sure that you have the contact information and access to our resources because we are here to partner with you and to help you feel successful and make this giving event a success. Is there anything else? Does anyone else have any questions?
Question in the chat about who can register an
Oh,
organization. Did we answer that one? And I
oh,
think
we did
it's
not. No, thank you.
yeah,
Hi,
and
Joel. Who can register an organization? Well, it could be a development director. It could be an intern, honestly, if you wanted them to have access to all of your data. It could be a board member. It doesn't have to be like a C-level kind of officer. It could be, it's easiest to get access to your platform if you are registering using a same name domain. So like mk@animalhumanesociety.org, if I'm registering Animal Humane Society, is going to, our support team is not going to question that. They're going to say, okay, this person is in some way related to this organization, so we can give them access to that platform. Um, but yeah, I would say I would guide you, let people, if someone is not already on the platform, I would say think about who should have access to all of your data, because if someone registers your organization and they're approved then to be a user for your organization, then they have access to, like, your public profile, they have access to all of your donation data. And so it might be something where you think about whether or not do we have a volunteer do this for us? Well, you know, if you're comfortable with that person having access to all of your data, then you could. So I would just say, uh, just think through what you want that to look like. But if you're not having a same name domain, like some people have just Gmail addresses, then we can have, our support team might ask, like, hey, can you show us your website where you're listed as the development associate or something? Or can I get an email from your ED saying that you should be allowed access to the platform? So we might just do a little extra research on that. Oh, and then Sherry said, oh no, there is no Zoom option for the January 13th meeting. You are welcome. Uh, Anyone else? We will have two more Mightycause. So myself and my colleague Claire on for two more webinars. We'll have one, that covers fundraising tools, such as P2P, matching grants, elements that you can do to level up your campaign. This training was to talk about, the basics of how to be, really what makes you successful by the different elements that you can fill out and tell your story depending on the time that you have available in the staff. We know that everybody has different resources available to them, but there are a lot of different elements that you can use, but are the basics of what you fill out. We feel confident that that is going to show you, present for you a good looking profile with critical information that tells your story. And it's just up to you how much you want to get into that. So we will do the fundraising tools, and then we'll do kind of like a general, like, Q&A, a shorter Q&A before the giving event, for if someone has a question about the platform that they either, has recently come up, or they're just wondering, like, how would I do this? Or I have a question that I haven't had answered yet. I'll be online and available to answer questions for you later. I'm sorry, I don't actually have the exact date showing for me right now. They are
Um, Meeting on the 3rd is our next webinar.
right.
Tuesday the 3rd, February the 3rd, for the fundraising tools, and then is it Tuesday, February 24th
That
for
sounds right. Yeah.
yeah.
The Q&A. Yeah.
Yep. Try to keep everything
Yep.
on
So we've got the
Tuesdays.
next, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. If there are no other questions, we can go. But again, I will get this recording sent over to the team so that it can be provided for you all, for you to reference. And um, just reach out to support at Mighty Cause if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for what you do for your community. I'm excited. This is my first year working with Kitsap, but I've been working with Giving Days for a lot of years, like 8 years now, 9 years. And I really enjoy seeing what each of you is doing for your community. So thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.